If you thought there were only 10 curses to watch out for, then you were dead wrong. The world is packed full of terrifying energies that want to ruin your life for reasons I could never explain. Your best bet is to never touch anything old because it seems that curses only stick to items that have been hanging out for a while. I haven't heard of a curse TikTok dance, but now that I said that, I'm sure that something will pop up. But let's stay focused. Hello again, Most Amazing Top 10 family. I'm your host, Jade Arena, and welcome back to Most Amazing Top 10. Today we're going to be diving into another list of hexes with our countdown of top 10 scary real life curses part 2. And if you haven't seen part 1, then you should go check that out right now because you can't start a series at the sequel. You'll have no idea what's going on. Also stick around until the end of this list because I'm going to be doing some more pet shoutouts, which you guys love so much. Remember, if you want me to shout out your pet, you can hit me up on Instagram. Without taking any longer, let's get into this list. Coming at number 10, we have the Passion of the Christ curse. Cursed movies are a pretty common thing. Cursed movie sets are even more common than that. It should be no surprise that making a movie about the Son of God being brutally killed as a ton of people watching horror brought some bad mojo. It seems that God is quite the critic because 2 people on set of this movie were struck by lightning. I mean, I'm not a religious person, but you gotta admit that is pretty weird. Well, one of the people who got hit by lightning was the lead of the movie, who was obviously playing Jesus. And as the film would continue production, it would seem that lightning was the least of his problems. While carrying the cross, he would dislocate his shoulder. While getting whipped, he would actually have his skin sliced open. And at one point, he would get a lung infection, and at another point, his makeup would cause him to get a skin infection. So if you don't want to get this curse, then don't play Jesus in a movie. Oh, and on top of this, there's also a curse that almost every single person who plays Jesus in a movie has their career die after. Coming in at number 9, we have bone pointing. Here's a great way to avoid a curse. Don't be rude to people, and then there will be no reason for a person to give you a curse. In fact, if you're nice to people, you might even get blessed, and then you'll have good mojo for days. Well, bone pointing is an Australian Aboriginal curse where a shaman will choose to execute someone by putting a curse on them. They will point a bone at them, say some stuff, and then your fate is sealed, my friend. The curse is supposed to bring illness and death. Many people who have had this done to them will stop eating to bring their fate on faster. Nurses in Australia have been trained to deal with patients who come in claiming to be cursed. Now, it would seem that the curse is only psychosomatic, but people will experience a placebo effect believing that they are cursed and they will actually become ill. So if you get cursed with some bone pointing, you have to use positive thinking to overcome the curse. Coming in at number 8, we have the curse of Billy Bob Thornton. It's already very hard to make it as a successful actor in Hollywood. Now you're going to slap a curse next to your name, and it can make it nearly impossible to get work. This curse is a little unfair to Billy Bob because he hasn't done anything wrong. It just seems that people who work with him on movie sets kick the bucket not too long after they share the screen with him. And none of these people have died from natural causes. Patrick Swayze, J.T. Walsh, Jim Varney, John Ritter, and Bernie Mac all have had movies with the famous character actor, and every single one of them has been taken out by some sort of illness or degenerative disease. So if you're watching this and you get casted in a movie with him, then you should probably take the job because that is a massive opportunity, and just hope that the curse works its way over to someone else. Coming in at number 7, we have the curse of Poltergeist. If you're working on a movie and some of the props look a little too real, maybe you should ask them where they got them from. Because the rumor for the movie Poltergeist is that they used real skeletons. Yeah, that's a great way to bring some dark energy on set. This led to the entire series being cursed in a bunch of different ways. There were 4 different people who starred in the movies that died. There were several people who worked on the movies who said that they were haunted during the filming as well as years afterwards. I wonder if they got any sort of bonus pay for having a spirit torment them after they had finished filming. I would at least hope you get overtime or something for that. There is also one of the creepiest toy clowns that has ever been seen on screen in that movie. There's a scene where this toy clown chokes a young boy, and guess what? He actually started getting choked. The prop was programmed improperly, and it nearly killed the kid. Coming in at number 6, we have St. Anne's Well. I don't know who you need to be to pull off a curse, but it seems like people can just throw them around sometimes. The curse of St. Anne's Well goes all the way back to the year 1066. This is when the well was built. It's said that when the well was constructed, it was immediately made a holy site because St. Anne herself came through and blessed the well. It was something that was revered by the public for centuries. People would travel to wash their body in the well, and it said that it would bring good fortune and remove all of your blackheads from your skin in one wash. As time passed on, the land was eventually owned by Hugh Darcy. It seemed kind of wrong to have such a sacred site owned by one man, but this was now the year 1700, so things had changed. Well, Hugh got some pushback from the church about the ownership of the land, and eventually this led to a priest putting a curse on the well. It didn't take long for one of Hugh's sons to fall ill and eventually die, and then his wealth melted away. This all ended when his body was found dead at the mouth of the well. Coming in at number 5, we have OTZI the Iceman. I gotta say, this one is a very unfair curse. Curses usually have some sort of warning on them. There's usually a little bit of a heads up before you touch something that is going to kill you, but this curse just came out of nowhere. The Iceman was the mummified body of a 5,000-year-old dude who was shot in the back with an arrow. Not the most ideal way to go. You're just digging around for some food, maybe you're bird watching a little bit, and the next thing you know, you got an arrow in your back. Geez, that's a good way to ruin your day. Well, there was a team of people who dug this dude out and brought him back to the lab so they could do some investigative work on our mummified friend. Well, within less than a year, 3 of the people who were involved in this research had died, and another person died moments after attending one of the funerals. So I guess the rule of this curse is don't touch any mummies, which is honestly a very easy rule to follow. Coming in at number 4, we have Twilight Zone, the movie. It only makes sense that a movie based on a TV show that was about horrible things happening to people in twisted ways should have a curse on it. The public wouldn't have it any other way. Well, Twilight Zone, the movie, had one of the most insane accidents to ever take place on a movie set, and this led everyone to the conclusion that the movie and the filming of it was cursed. A helicopter crash on set sent 3 people to an early grave. 2 of them were children, and the third was one of the principal actors who goes by the name of Victor Morrow, who was decapitated by one of the helicopter blades. Now, if you want to increase the spooky factor of this movie curse, Morrow had something left behind for his family, which was a $5 million life insurance policy. The reason that this was in place was because a year before his death on set, he had a dream where he died in a helicopter crash. The dream was so vivid that he rushed to get the life insurance policy because he was convinced that he had just witnessed his own death, and he was right. Coming in at number 3, Jesus puts out a curse. Man, I didn't know that Jesus was in the game of putting out curses, but I guess everyone can get frustrated at times. The story goes like this. Jesus was living in the city of Chorazin, and he was working out some major miracles on people, like the sick were coming back looking fresh. But a lot of those people in that city would take a miracle and then walk on to still be sinners, which is very rude. Like, you cure a guy's diabetes and then he goes on to keep eating Twinkies. So Jesus just put a curse on the whole city, and everyone got out of there very quickly. The city is now known as Galil, and it's still said to have some bad mojo in place. Coming in at number 2, we have the August curse. You wait all year for summer to roll around, and then you gotta worry about a crummy curse working its way into your life. This curse stems from Russia, and it's simply the belief that bad things happen in August. Leave it to Russia to give a whole month a curse, but there is some evidence backing this up. The Russians opened the Eastern Front in World War I during August, and the Battle of Stalingrad happened in August. There's also been many terrorist attacks that have happened in August. It would be so much better if this curse could just take place in January or some other crummy winter month. And coming into the number 1 spot, we have the BASANO vase. This is a classic curse which I have put on lists before, but I keep using it because this one has to be the most intense curse I have ever read about. The BASANO vase is a solid silver vase which was a wedding gift for a bride who was killed on her wedding day. The vase was passed on to her family, and everyone who owned it died. No one avoided the curse. So the vase was buried and eventually dug up 400 years later. Again, everyone who came in contact with the vase died. No one has been able to overcome the curse. So the vase has been once again buried in a secret location and hopefully will never be found again. But if you dig up a solid metal box with a warning on it and it has a beautiful silver vase inside of it, just know that you'll be dead within a month. Alright everyone, that has been our list, and as promised, I'm going to be doing some more pet shoutouts. Remember, if you want me to shout out your pet, you can hit me up on Instagram. I pick new pets each day, so if you don't get picked one day, you can message back another day. I usually pick who has messaged most recently, and if it takes me a little while to get back to you, I'm very sorry. I have a lot of these to do, and without taking any longer, let's shout out some pets. First up, we have this amazing husky looking boy that I didn't get the name for, so I'm going to name him Vladimir Husky. We got another no-name dog, which I am going to call Lil Donut. Then we have Snowy, who looks very upset with me for some reason. Then we have Pekka, who's doing a very professional shake. And to close it out, we have the littlest Hercules of all time. Alright everyone, that has been our list. As always, I would love it if you could like, comment, subscribe, and hit the little notification bell. Until next time, I have been your host, Chaderena, and watch out for curses, man, because they will kill you. Bye. Okay. No more coming.